vaccines and heavy metal toxicity. Let's look at it take it from the system point of view and then bring it into our own personal situations so we can associate with that. Okay, so take the example if an individual mother was given a long list of toxic heavy metal ingredients that are known carcinogens and have significant effects on the entire body's and entity systems, and willingly put that, instead of using a syringe which goes straight into the bloodstream that has no filters, especially in a young child's burgeoning and an immature immune system, they can't fight that off. So it's much, much worse. Imagine putting those chemical carcinogenic compounds into a baby's drinking bottle. Can you even imagine conceptualizing, thinking of doing that to your own child? No, of course not. It would be, well, is it torture or is it, like, it'd have many horrible, like, poisonous words. So are we on a society based on, worldwide scale, performing mass genocide on ourselves? Well, we're certainly keeping our vibration low by having this heavy metal toxicity. And if somebody did feed their bottle with these known carcinogenic compounds to their child, well, the police would come and get them. They'd be put on trial for attempted murder. This is what would happen. There's no question about that. If somebody did that, there'd be a massive uproar. It would be in the news, it'd be in the media, and then everybody would project their emotional opinions and thoughts, so then that would energize that particular case. So instead of that person perhaps getting 10-year sentence, they'd get 20 or 30 because everyone's adding their energy to it, making it a big more and more dramatic event. And with heavy metal toxicity, that's inevitably what happens, because there's a lot of guilt and shame projected onto that at the lowest vibrational emotions. Then say that mother would be, or if it was, be locked up in jail, and then when people in jail, known criminals who are the ones that need the most help, because they've generally got a lot of heavy metal toxicity in their system and parasites and things controlling their minds and behaviors, that's why they're there, and they would find out, and even they would have a significant moral problem with that. Inevitably, right? So, let's have another look at that. And what would happen? They'd probably execute them. If it was a guy in a male jail, absolutely, and I'd say it'd be the same in a female jail, because it breaks all the rules on morality and anything that we are as humans who have a heart. You're actually known poisoning your own child through a bottle, which would actually be better because it's got the filters of the organs to at least try to deal with some of that, and they'd be executed. So we're people who have been judged by society as the lowest emotional and lowest moral value to not fit into our society, and then taking a higher moral ground than the person who has just intentionally poisoned their own child. Are we intentionally putting our lowest vibrational stuff onto our own children and poisoning ourselves? Because they are a reflection of ourselves, and we need to learn the lessons from our children. I'm sure there's many of those lessons that are being learned constantly, especially those behavioral patterns and things if we want to ascend in our personal spiritual development. So, in general, are we on a society-wide level introducing mass genocide to ourselves and it's morally the most reprehensible thing that we can possibly do to our own beautiful, innocent, pure little children? Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. Well, let's hopefully, like on an energetic scale, we're noticing a lot of these heavy metals and things are moving higher energy times are coming up for dealing with. So it's about time we started debating these with an open mind and ideally a clear mind, free from heavy metal toxicity. And the people who don't agree with that, guess what? They are the ones that have to justify that to themselves because they did it to their children and their mothers and parents did it to them. Hey, we did it, take responsibility for ourselves. I had to. Heavy metal toxicity removal and the emotional effects of that is absolutely huge because it's in the blood. So the purity of the blood is essentially the key to spiritual development and natural health. And that blood has to go through the filter organs of the kidneys, which store fear, the reproductive system, which stores our masculine and feminine gender issues, and our femininity and our heart. So that means that it appeals on an emotional level to our children as well. So it's certainly a complicated one because it has to go through the nervous system, which is chock loaded with heavy metals from our society's choices. It's a complex issue, but hey, if we just get rid of it, well, this will be solved. Pretty simple. All right. Let's make more intelligent, clear-minded, clear-body, subconscious bodily temporal decisions and look after our children. Seems beautiful, doesn't it? Yeah, it is.